Challenge. Und eine, die schon seit dem ersten Random Decks, seit 2009 existiert, und praktisch weiterentwickelt wird. Aber das könnte ich dann nochmal erklären. Presenting in German or English? Okay, presentation will be in English, just to let you know.
Which one are they doing?
People find it.
People Finder. Ah, nice. Okay.
So, I want to get this out. The Haiti disaster happened in January, and right away there was a problem with missing people on the internet and how people were looking for people and how people were posting people. Because there wasn't a proper database storage or system to accommodate such a large number of people, people were posting things on Facebook, looking for people on forums. The New York Times had created a site, CNN had created a site, and the International Red Cross was slow to move. So after 2 days, the International Red Cross had a semi-working site up, but they weren't sharing information, and there was information spread all across the internet. In the first days of the disaster, I pulled in about 8 different developers, and we developed a system and scraped all these different sources and combined one database. After the second day, I ended up on a conference call with Google and the State Department, and we created Google Person Finder. I shut down my site and gave them all my data. That project, the core of it was to create one database so that there weren't multiple repositories of information and that it could share information with anybody. So after 3 or 4 days, we had a widget that could go on the New York Times website where people could look for people or add new information, and it would still go back to the Google Person Finder big database. The system tracked over 150,000 people missing, deceased, and found. And by the end of it, we had Haitians using the system and writing back to other Haitians and telling them when someone was found. So it's kind of like a full circle. The project was then used. This is a screenshot of how to enter it. In the Chile disaster and in the Pakistan floods. And what we found a problem with, and so let me just say that this project is run by Google.org, which is the nonprofit side, and unfortunately they don't, it's kind of, Google has a 20% rule. They can kind of give some time, but they don't have a full group of people working on this all the time. They have about 3 or 4 developers, and they're spread across a bunch of different programs. When Pakistan happened, there was an issue where beforehand we had always used a first name and a last name, and in Pakistan the names are a little bit more complex than that. And so we ran into this issue where people had these long names, and they would go into the system, and then it was harder to search and find people. So what we spent our day yesterday doing was changing the system to work with one full name. And it seemed like a really simple and easy thing to do. Unfortunately, it goes way across the whole system, and we spent basically all day long tracking down little bits of code here and there and making it work. So it's not super sexy, but it's good. And there were approximately about 8 different projects across the world yesterday that dealt with Person Finder, and it's a real help to the people at Google. They just open sourced the thing before only people in Google could work on it, and it kind of happened very slowly. They got it all ready. Yesterday open sourced it, so people all over the world were working on this, and we took this as just one challenge that could have a big impact on the next disaster, and we could accomplish it. So this is our full name search, very sexy, and that's where your given name goes in one whole huge name. So that is our presentation. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.